Stacked position during pregnancy for strength training. What is a stacked position? A stacked position is a posture that is commonly referred to when the diaphragm and the pelvic floor, or the rib cage and the pelvis, are stacked directly on top of one another. While this may seem pretty simple, it's actually a lot harder to make happen in real life than you might think. During pregnancy, we are kind of fighting a losing battle, unfortunately, when it comes to this stacked position. The reason that is because of the biomechanical changes that pregnancy makes happen to our body. A lot of times during pregnancy, the lower ribs will become more flared and the pelvis has a tendency to dip more anteriorly or dump a bit more forward. That means that we can end up in a posture that looks a little more like this. Conversely, we could also end up with a posture that is a little more tucked under, or a sway back posture, from gripping the glutes for stability and really holding down with our rectus muscles to find some stability through our core. These are two extremes and there are tons of in-betweens that exist. But what we're going to talk about is how do you get into a stacked position in your strength training. This is important because we want to give ourselves that stacked position as much as we can during pregnancy. You don't need to hyperfixate on it while you're climbing or you are driving and things like that. You want to be able to just live your life. But having this knowledge is really important because it is protective of your core, of your pelvic floor. We are aiming to set you up for more success postpartum, and this stacked position is part of that whole process. So typically you're going to fall into one of two camps when it comes to this whole stacked position. Camp number one is going to be the extender, okay? This is camp number one, where you tend to kind of poke your butt out a little more. You may feel your low back and things more. You really tend to lock your knees more, and you know that you just tend to walk around kind of like this. You feel like you're, maybe doing like this during pregnancy, and when you look in the mirror, you definitely see kind of like a curve along your back. So you're in more of this extended posture. For you, the stacked position is going to be really important for you to learn how to exhale, let the lower ribs come down, deep core come up, and get those hamstrings on board, okay? The hamstrings are gonna help anchor your pelvis underneath you just a little bit, which can be super, super important during pregnancy. The other camp is going to be more of this huncher and clencher. So if you know that you're like, oh, that's me. I know that's me. I stand like this and I don't really have like a butt. My butt is real flat or my back is real flat. Then this could be you right here. For you, what we want to think about is really learning how to breathe into this area right here. We'll go through that more in the breathing drills, but this is your pump handle. We want to learn how to let this area expand. Another area we want to learn to expand are these guys right here. We need to learn how to let your glutes let go. Hinging is a really big part of that. So making sure that we're learning how to breathe into this area right here, and that we learn how to let these let go and be able to extend up without tucking under. So we don't need our glutes to tuck under to be able to move us forward, to walk, to do things in life. We just need our glutes to be able to extend our hips fully, and we're good to go. All right, that was an oversimplification of those two, but those are things to keep in mind when we are talking about this stacked position in training. There's going to be lots of ways for you to apply the stacked position: the hinge, the push, the pull, the squat, all the places. The one place you don't really need to worry about the stacked position is on the wall while you're climbing. On the wall while you're climbing, you don't need to try to stay in a stacked position. You just need to climb. You just need to do your thing. So if you're climbing during pregnancy and you're worrying about a stacked position on the wall, you have my full permission to not. Don't worry about that, okay? We are going to trust that our body will do what it needs to do to be strong and help us do the movements on the wall. Being in a stacked position and really hyperfixating on that while we're climbing just isn't where it's at. All right, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.